ago. So appreciate your patience. What got you interested in coaching?
I've play, played since beta. Now just wanting to be a little better than average, I guess.
Sure, sure. I had a great time with you at the pugs, by the way. I appreciate your flexibility. Hope you had a pretty decent time. I thought you played pretty well too. Get some
I had a
nasty
good time.
nades. Ah,
I was
still,
trying not to snag Zen.
I mean, I don't think it matters that much. You could just fist fight anybody for the best hero in the game. Okay, let's get your form pulled up here. So you've been playing since launch, and you're trying to get a little bit better. So or a little bit, you're like smack dab average player right now.
Yeah.
So what kind of encouraged you to be beyond that? Like what pushed you to pursue that a little bit more?
Uh, Back in maybe it was season 7. It's
Mm-hmm.
pretty early on. I used to be plat,
Mm-hmm.
and then I ended up hitting mid diamond at
Mm-hmm.
my best. And then back when they drop you a couple hundred points every season,
Yes, I remember.
there there was a period where I kind of got burnt out and I took a break, but I only did placements.
Mm-hmm.
And where it dropped me back, I ended up down to I think silver, and
Mm-hmm.
I just stayed there for many a season, struggling to climb back.
Okay. Okay. And you're where now? Gold?
Gold one, yeah.
Okay. And primarily support player. So what has been your path of like choosing different heroes and different roles since you started off?
So that's one issue I know with. I have difficulty knowing when to swap
Mm-hmm.
and who to swap to,
Mm-hmm.
because I tend to one trick a hero to get a better feel for him.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been on this Zen kick since Overwatch 2 came out.
Smart of you. Yeah. Okay.
So I have a broader hero pool that I don't really utilize.
Okay. 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 Well, you don't necessarily have to utilize it. Why not be the so good at Zenyatta in gold that you get to plat again? That's a possibility, right? Have you tried that before?
I did. I
Okay.
hit plat 5 last night.
Congrats. Congratulations. What have you been doing to push you from gold to plat? Anything specific, or just you don't even know you just got good or got better or got lucky, maybe?
I came across one of your videos on YouTube, and um, it kind of reframed uh, the way I play, some of the concepts that I.
Sure. So, what was the way that what was something that made you rethink things, or what were some adjustments that you were making?
Getting out of the narrowly defined roles. Like tank is supposed to absorb damage as opposed to creating space.
Right.
Support is supposed to heal.
Right. 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 So, what adjustments in your play did you make consciously?
Map control and pressure, I guess.
Sure.
It kind of took me back to Halo 2.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's funny. First person shooters are not too far from each other a lot of the time in execution. Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. So, you say you sometimes have some issue with hyper focusing slash tunnel visioning. Talk to me a little bit about that.
It's it's like something will happen. The Winston will dive me or something, and I'll completely forget everything. I'll forget how to play, and only that thing matters in
Mm-hmm.
that moment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so
I'll
what?
just
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'll just hyper focus on that,
Okay.
whatever is before me.
Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. Um, Overwatch is a game of a lot of things happening at the same time, right? And I think one of the challenges is for new players or old players or anybody really is to try and to drown out the noise and find out what's most relevant at that moment. So when you say that like, okay, Winston dives me, I tend to kind of get hyper fixated on that a little bit. I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing, because that's probably the most important thing that's happening on your screen at that given point in time, right? So for you, it's more about when something up in your face happens, are you responding appropriately? Are you able to do the right thing in those very stressful situations? For example, if you're like a first responder or whatever, a medical professional, something very drastic and terrible happens, your body needs to kind of already know, your brain already needs to know exactly how do I respond to these situations so that you don't have to think as much. So what we might want to do is what we do with everybody, whether they're autistic, ADD, or just average brain, is to train the autopilot, is to not just work on being a little bit better at paying attention to multiple factors, because you could only do that so much, right? But actually to make it so that multiple of those factors are already autopiloted so that you don't have to worry about them, right? You see those guys that juggle on the unicycle while they're playing the kazoo, right? They're not thinking about juggling. They're not thinking about unicycling. Maybe there's one thing that they're giving a little bit more attention to, but so much of that is just like automatic, right? How did they get there? Well, they started juggling until they could juggle without thinking. Then they started to unicycle until you could unicycle without thinking. Then they started to do a very basic version of juggling while unicycling, and that was probably pretty hard. But then eventually that got easy. And you can kind of see where I'm going with this, right? So for you, the key thing is to not, I think a lot of the time is we can look at ourselves as having neural tendencies, right? Whether it's to tilt, to tunnel, to hyper-focus, to I had a tendency to, sometimes I just couldn't focus on a target, like with my eyes. Like I made hitting shots harder, right? Everybody has something like that. Some have more, some have less. But the answer to all of them is it doesn't matter what your setbacks are. The answer is still the same. Focus on something, build it to a habit, move on. Focus on something, build it to a habit, move on. And whereas hyper-focusing, tunnel visioning might be a bad habit with your awareness, right? It will be a good habit. It is a tool that could be utilized so that you learn things faster than other players do. You kind of see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Some people have the opposite problem. Some people can't focus at all, right? And so then they're aware of a lot of things, but they don't know what to do with all those things because they've never really practiced it. I'm not sure where you fall on that spectrum. I don't know you well enough to make that call, but I wouldn't be super discouraged about it just yet. Okay, what do you hope to get out of this session? A better understanding of what my biggest weaknesses are and how to overcome them. Okay, uncover my blind spots. That's a great way of putting it. And coming up with a training plan that maximizes efficiency without feeling like a chore. Yeah, you know all the right words to say. That's the key thing, right? What's going to be more efficient and more effective with what I'm doing now without making Overwatch become another job? That's the key.
Right.
100%. Now, have you tried this before? Have you tried to push yourself to be more effective? Have you tried to rank up? Have you tried to set up a structure? Have you tried to do anything to that extent before?
I have the last couple of months as
Okay.
I've been lurking in your channel, watching your videos and stuff.
Sure,
I've
sure.
been working on positioning and using natural cover more effectively.
And how has that gone?
I feel like I've gotten a lot better, especially when I'm warming up or first games of the day. I
Yep.
feel like my autopilot in that regard is better.
Sure, sure. Okay. Now, does that imply that as the day goes on, you start to play a little bit worse? As you said, the first few
That's
games
when
of
I
the
feel
day.
like I'm like hyper focusing on one thing because I'll have a tendency to not realize the team fight is over and then I'm out of position.
So what's the habit there that you're missing? What's the autopilot habit that you're missing?
Maybe focusing too much on whatever my current goal is.
Maybe,
Not
maybe,
enough
maybe,
to my team.
maybe you just don't have the habit of being aware of the kill feed enough.
That is 100% true.
You know, it could be that like that's the way I'm looking at things for you right now. Now, if you were a performing player that needed to turn their brain off when you have like a match, you would want to learn that skill. But I don't think you necessarily have to worry about being hyper focused too often. It might be a problem, but what we need to do is just need to be consistently building skills so that you are allowed to hyper focus on one thing because the other skills train to where you don't even have to think about it at all.
Okay.
That's going to be the goal. Now, it still might be that you hyperfixate a little too much. I'm sure that's definitely could be a problem, but we'll cross that road. So now, in terms of training schedule, though, or training structure, or training plan specifically, as you said, is that something that you've tried to do? You said you had some stuff that you were working on, but have you tried any sort of training plan or improvement?
For a couple weeks, I was getting up in the morning, doing a couple of quick play games for warm up, and then I would pick one thing to work on and take it to comp and work on that.
Okay. How long would you play comp?
I believe 3 to 4 hours
Okay.
was
And
the
how
time
long did
range.
that go, and how did it go?
I noticed after around 4 hours, I would start making silly mistakes, catching myself out of position, and
Mm-hmm.
but it felt good up to that point.
Do you feel
I
like you
felt
made
like
improvement?
I do.
Okay. Okay. And then was that recent, or did you stop doing that, or step back from a little bit?
Step back a little bit. I've been taking not playing as much Overwatch the past
Okay.
couple weeks.
More IRL stuff, or just a little bit too much playing and kind of not enjoying it as much?
Just IRL stuff, yeah.
Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. Okay, fair enough. 6 to 8 hours for sleep on average. It's not terrible. Could always be better. You know, you know me. It's like there's always the joke. Is like if you're not getting 24 hours of sleep per day, you're not sleeping enough.
Sure.
Okay. What is your hero pool and rank? Primarily support, but it's inconsistent. I've been hooked on Zenyatta since Overwatch 2, but I spent a great deal of time on Mercy, Ana, and Moira in Overwatch 1. Now, you said that it's inconsistent. Has this been a track record of you of swapping around heroes a lot? That's something you've done
Yeah,
often.
kinda.
Okay.
I don't know if I'd say a lot, but yeah, that's where I'd kind of one trick a hero for a good period of time.
Okay.
Sometimes 6 months or so or more.
I don't think that should be a major problem, to be honest with you. As long as you're giving yourself time to, like, 6 months is more than enough time to get good at a hero, right? So I don't think that should be much of an issue. What I would be concerned about if that was like a weekly issue, a 6 monthly issue, or even a monthly issue. I don't think it's a problem. Really don't think it's a problem. You should be okay. As long as you're being consistent when you are playing, that you're not playing too much, but it doesn't sound like that's a problem with you. Okay. What are your long-term and short-term goals in Overwatch? To improve my play and perhaps reach Diamond, but I would love to climb higher. Okay. So, given your current IRL, enjoyment of the game, sleep schedule, whatever, what do you think is a low blow ball, like aim low? What is a reasonable, conservative estimate of daily playtime, daily structure of training?
Couple hours a day,
Sure. You could do a lot with a
5 days a
couple
week.
hours a day. 5 days a week, you said?
Yeah, I could do that.
Do that. So 2 times 5, yeah?
Yeah.
I think we could get you to potentially diamond with that. We could certainly get you to plat with that, and consistently plat. Assuming nothing else is a factor, right? So you talked to me a little about warm up before. What does your average warm up look like right now?
Usually just 2 to 3 quick play games.
Okay, and then from there into ranked.
Yeah.
Have you tried deathmatch before?
I recently tried the try hard free for all that you guys were talking about the other day.
How badly did your tail get kicked?
I think out of 15 people, I was around 12th.
That's
11th,
not
12th.
bad. That's actually not too bad. It could be a lot worse. You know, I feel you. I was a Zen player in tryhard lobbies as well at the rank of gold and plat, and very overwhelming, especially because the 12 players, not 8. You know, so it gets a little bit chaotic. Did you enjoy that, or was it just miserable?
I enjoyed it. It's something I could see myself warming
Okay.
up for.
Well, because you can probably guess what I'm going to recommend. If you enjoy it, I would recommend it over quick play.
Okay.
It is like the most intensive, especially as a low to mid rank player. It is the best warm up that you can possibly get. As the latency, the ping might be a little bit of a problem, And if there isn't one available, then I would recommend unranked deathmatch for 1 or 2 games. But just deathmatch in general, like I think especially as a support, because that is one of the things about Overwatch 2 is that you do spend a lot more time having to shoot Genjis and control space and take 1v1s, right? So I think getting comfortable with that mechanically is going to be the best thing. And then I taught myself Grandmaster mechanics from just deathmatch. I didn't use any aim trainers. I played a decent amount of ranked as well, obviously. So I would recommend that. Sound good?
Indeed.
Okay. 10 to 15 minutes is what I would say for a ballpark estimate. But if you want to play more, if you feel warm after only 5 minutes, that's fine too. What do you feel is holding you back from improving? You say a little of all the above: mentality, understanding, and mechanics. I know inconsistency in multiple areas are undoubtedly some of the biggest factors. Character pool, we talked a little bit about that. Playtime, obviously, that's up for you to control. But if you're able to get a couple hours with a little bit of deathmatch, ranked, and whatever. And then you say quality of practice. Now, that's not something we've really talked about yet, but what do you mean quality of practice as being a limiting factor? Elaborate, please.
There are times when I get on with the intention of practicing and jumping into comp, but then a family member or a friend will hop on, and I don't have the heart to peel away after just a few games, so I end up playing low, low, low rate quick play all day,
Yeah.
and it instills bad habits that I know.
Yeah. It's hard to, because when it's such the social side of things is so much fun. And I am not one to throw stones, because I would say easily 90% of my Overwatch play recently is just playing with either Patreons or playing with subs or whatever, and just like chilling quick play, right? So what do you think is the answer to that? Because I don't know your situation, and I also don't want you to avoid the fun side of things. But is there a solution to that?
The one I can think of off the top of my head is limit my hero pool and role away from support.
Okay. And what do you mean by that?
That way, if I do start like what I usually do is pick a hero that I'm not as familiar with and start practicing on them. Like recently, I've been picking up Widow. I'm terrible at DPS, even worse at Widow,
Welcome
but
to the
that's
club.
why I've been picking her up.
So you're saying that whenever I play in these social environments, I'm not playing Zen. I'm playing something else.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, seems reasonable to me. And as long as you're able to get your homework of a couple of games, if that's possible, aim for that. Well, let's just start with small and actionable stuff, right? That seems like a very reasonable thing for you to be able to do, and hopefully that was still fun for you. You also say ult tracking, positioning, decision making, and aim are all severely lacking. Well, we have a plan for aim. We'll talk about the rest in game. Do you have any other questions that you want to go over before we take a look at your gameplay?
Not the moment.
Okay. Listen, if you're gold or plat, everything is lacking. It's not a surprise. So, okay, let's take a look. Shoot over a replay code here. Although now that you're plat, you are now officially above average. Congratulations.
It's been a journey.
Now, how long that's gonna last, I don't know. Maybe got on a lucky streak. Who knows? But regardless, we're gonna get there. Nice skin. Let me get the stream started here, and then we can be good to go. All right, so you've been working on some of your space control. You said you were talking a little bit about pressure. Do you have any questions about Zenyatta specifically before we look at the gameplay?
I'm sure it'll come up. Sometimes I'm not sure when to take an off angle or if I should be with my team.
Here's when you should take an off angle. And by off angle, I don't necessarily mean to flank, but take an off angle, right? Whenever you can. Whenever you can. Whenever you can see your team, see the enemy team, and you can rotate to a safe position, a safe corner or cover, you need to take an off angle. Now, are you going to be able to take an off angle this fight?
No.
Why not?
There's only really two options: the left long
Yeah,
haul and
there's nowhere,
the
right?
longer.
There's no off angles anywhere. You gotta go over here. I mean, yeah, that's the play, right? But yeah, there's nothing here, right? We'll keep revisiting that though. Don't worry. Oh, did you have any other questions? I just zoomed right past that.
No, no.
Okay, okay. Let's take a look. So I like this here. I like this here. I like that you've kind of prioritized. I wouldn't say this is an off angle, but you've prioritized this cover because you can pocket your Pharah from here, right? That's smart. Micro thing here that is very important because Zen is a lot of micro, right? Is why are you not charging your right click? You kind of see what I'm
Okay.
saying? Anytime there's downtime as Zen, charge a right click. That's 99% of the time. That's what you want to be thinking. So that when you peek here, bang, 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 right? You get out what 200 shield damage, right? It's better than nothing, right? Always be in the
Okay.
habit of doing that. Or otherwise, you're spamming. Good Discord. Now, nice shot. I have a question for you. Do you know what your in-game DPI and sensitivity is?
I think I had my DPI since set to, I can check real quick,
Okay.
1700.
1700?
Yeah, and my sensitivity is 9%.
9. So 9 and 1700. Okay, I might have spotted a problem here. How big is your mouse pad in terms of like inches approximately?
I have like a whole area covered.
A whole area covered. So for right now, if you were to take your mouse, actually, can you get in game really quick for me? Is that possible?
Yeah.
Can you stream Overwatch briefly through the other thing? Is that possible too? Through Discord? Brilliant. So pull up practice range for me. I want you to tell me how many inches it is for you to do a full 360. Do a full 360 right now. Put your mouse on one side of the keyboard. All right, how many inches did you move your mouse to do that? Approximately.
6 inches or so.
6 inches or so? Okay. All right, you can end the stream now. Thank you. Now hop back in my stream. I'm going to do a 180 for you. And I'm going to tell you how many inches it takes me. All right? You ready? 360. Ran out of mouse pad. Oh, there you go. About 16 inches. Now, I have a lower sensitivity, but you have a significantly higher sensitivity. So much so that it's probably going to cause some issues with your game. So, here's what I would recommend. I'm going to give you a ballpark estimate that I want you to aim for with your sensitivity. And that's going to be... Whoops, I didn't mean to stop stream. Whoops. So your EDPI is 9 times 17. So you're about 16,000 EDPI. I want you to at least cut that in half. Aim for around anywhere from 4 to 9K. If you have a mouse pad that covers your entire desk, I would aim to be able to do a full 360 if you need to, and that's pretty much it. You could cut your sensitivity in at least half. That not only is going to help your aim to be a little bit more consistent and less jittery, but it's also going to be good for your wrist health as well, because you'll be forced to use more of your arm, and that's going to help your wrist safety and health for the long term. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Now, let me actually send you a video or two on how this is done. IOStex, I think, has a good... He's the guy that I did it 4 years ago, and I think I would recommend his PSA method as well. But I would definitely aim for something in the 4 to 9,000. Now, how long have you been playing at the sensitivity? For a long time, I assume?
I actually changed it maybe 4 weeks ago or so.
From what? Would you lower it?
I increased it by a
Okay.
good bit.
Okay. Why is that?
I had heard from a number of people that it was too low.
Wait, so you have 1700 DPI, just to confirm, and you have 9
Yeah,
sensitivity, and it takes you 6 inches to do a full 360, right? Just to make sure I understand.
yeah, yeah.
So if you pull up your options here, I'm making sure I'm not gaslighting myself here. Your sensitivity is at 9% here, right? Not 2%, right?
Right.
Okay. Who are these people?
As one of them was in a game I was
Okay.
playing. I guess somebody was watching my kill
Okay.
feed and
Okay.
comment.
Okay. Okay. Your sensitivity is easily double, if not quadruple, what most flex supports are. Your sensitivity is over 5 times what mine is, and mine is about average for flex supports.
Makes sense. I've been struggling to get used to it.
Yeah,
So
I would definitely say that that I would cut that in by at least half, if not more. Now you want to know what's comfortable for you, so 5,000, 6,000, 4,000, 3,000. Jonak, have you ever heard of Jonak from Overwatch League back in the day?
I have not.
Okay. He played in like 2,000. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend making that harsh of a jump. Sensitivity is a journey. You don't necessarily have to find your perfect sense immediately. If you change your sensitivity, it doesn't reset your mechanical abilities. A lot of aim is like brain and eye coordination. So if you change your sensitivity a lot, it's gonna mess with your aim. But it's also not like, oh, you're not making any progress. So if you change your sensitivity, your aim is gonna be kind of bad for a little bit, for like a few days, and then you'll get right back into it. Don't worry about it. And then in the long term, weeks, months, you're gonna be so much healthier and so much more consistent with a lower sensitivity. Make sense?
Roger.
Okay, so fix that one. Work at that one. Aim for at least half, if not lower. Okay. Off of that note, what you're doing here is good. I would be careful about pressing W here, because obviously by pressing W, you start to move into the open. Very nice. Good use of the right click there. Probably would orb my Sombra here. Thank you. Or no. I'd get the Sombra just because she's a squishy on an off angle, right? You don't have LOS of your tank. Just orb your Sombra.
Okay.
Good. Far as looking. Same thing with the right click here. Do you notice how many times that you're behind a wall and you're not charging right click? Reload.
Yeah.
No right click. Reload. No right click. Like, even if it's just 2 orbs that you've charged, or 3 orbs that you've charged, because, you know, you don't have a time to charge a full 5, just constantly do it. When you can see somebody, mouse 1. When you can't see somebody, mouse 2. That simple. Good shots. Good shots. Like the little off angle here. We talked about you're not going to be able to get an off angle here, but I guess you did. So, congratulations. Nice job. Cover usage was also pretty good. Not bad. Definitely shows that you've been working on it. Will it stay? I don't know. But wasn't too shabby. Nice use of right click here. Do it again.
We are making progress.
Nice. Reload. Okay.
Yeah.
Charge the right click again. Orb, then charge right click, right? Thank you. Now, one tiny problem about your positioning here, okay, because I like the cover usage, is you notice the proximity between you and these threats here. Now, there's no Widow on the field, so really you're the big man on campus. You can take the longest, nastiest, gnarliest sightline that you want here. And as the fight's going to progress, do you want to necessarily be here? Maybe not. Where could you go instead?
Probably the pillar behind me, or
Mm-hmm.
closer behind Moira.
Even just like here or here, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%. Keep a sightline, keep an angle if you'd like. Just a little bit more distance. Good. Get her out. Nice. Good. Spam, 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 spam. So there's a little bit too much downtime between your damage, and I'm curious to see why that is. I'm not sure if it's you cycling orbs, but like for example, right now, what should you be doing right now?
Probably pushing the Winston.
Well, by pushing the Winston, what does that? What do you mean?
Like a Discord on him, helping
Sure,
Ramacho.
sure. Shoot. I wouldn't necessarily be pushing too close for your hero, right? Not right now. But definitely shoot the Winston bubble. But instead, look at what happens. You see this downtime?
Yeah.
A little bit slow. We need to build that habit of we see, I guess, blue in this case, but we see red, we start shooting. We start shooting. Still playing cover, still playing a little bit of range, but I want more uptime of the damage that we're putting out. Right click, then left click. Right click, then left click. Bam, 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 get her. Right click, left click. Bang! See, that was good, but that seems to come and go at times. Now, why is that? Is that because you were thinking about orbs or tracking the Ashes positioning or trying to not die or what?
Yeah, the orbs. I noticed that I'm not as good about keeping my orbs out, so I've been working on that, and that's probably what was on my mind.
See, this is why I ask these questions, because you know what? If that's why you're slow, I'm good with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm
Just
okay with
at
that.
who's the best target to put my Discord orb on. And this and that.
Good. I'm okay with that then. I'm okay with that. If you're slow at one thing, this goes back to the very first start of our review. If you're slow at something or making mistakes with something or tunnel visioning on something because you're working at something else, totally fine. Totally good. Now, we will make note that when you are thinking about your orb usage, how does your autopilot with damage look? Left click versus right click. Not very good, right? Not very good.
Right.
Pretty bad, right? A better Zenyatta here would be able to focus on orbs and still do more damage like uptime than you. So what we note is not that, oh, you need to stop tunneling on orbs so much. No, that is, you keep tunneling on orbs. But let's keep tunneling on orbs so that you get better at orbs. Because when we're done practicing orbs today, or this game, or this week, what's the next skill you're going to practice? Yes. Damage, right?
Oh, yeah, keeping my
left clicks and right clicks. Yeah, left click and right click. So what this is when you autopilot on one thing and everything else goes to crap, that should be raising flags that you need to practice those things at a future time. It doesn't mean that the way that you're practicing is bad. The way that you're practicing is good. It just means it's just a good highlighter that, oh yeah, these skills aren't quite there yet. Does that make sense?
It does. Okay.
So what we do is right now is we put in left click versus right click. That is a skill that we need to practice right now. However, when you practice your left click and right click, how do you think your orbs are going to look?
Probably not as good.
Not as good. Now, overall, probably better than they were a month ago. Yeah,
right.
Because you've built that autopilot up a little bit. You know, and at times like these, when you're not thinking about orbs, you're all of a sudden your left click versus right click looks a lot better. Do you notice that? When you're like really focused on winning a duel, all of a sudden you're doing the right things. But as soon as team fights break out, you kind of slow down a little bit. And again, I'm totally fine with that. Totally fine with that. In fact, I'm very pleased to see that because it shows that you have the right mindset about what you need to be practicing. Nice. Good. Nice. This is good. Lots of positives to say about the things that you're doing. Okay, do you have any questions so far? Go ahead.
I didn't really have line of sight, but I was the only one on cart. So
there you go. So you don't worry about it, right? Nothing to worry about it. Despite what awkward on that one tweet was, somebody has to push cart. So, you know, I mean, you look at that here. It's like, is it the Moira to heal in your Ram? Is it your Zenyatta? I don't know. Okay. Do you have any questions so far?
No, it's pretty straightforward.
Okay. So orb usage is okay. There were definitely times where, like the Sombra, for example, I think we could have been faster to orb her. This trance, by the way, totally fine. I like her decisiveness of this trance, by the way. One of the biggest mistakes you can make with trance is being indecisive. You see somebody crit, you want to go. It's fine. Totally fine. This guy dies without trance. The left click versus right click needs to be practiced. the sensitivity needs to be changed. That's what we've seen so far. Yep. You're crazy. This is really good. Excellent orb usage there. And not too shabby mechanics either. Good orbs as well. What should you be doing right now? Two things. One is positioning, one is mechanical.
Charging my right click.
And positioning?
I have other people to help push carts, so I should probably be
Sure.
closer to the Fara. Take
Sure.
that angle again.
Yeah, peek the sightline here. You know, you have to jiggle it with right click a little bit here because you don't want to get your head blown off, but yeah. You see all these down times where you're just kind of staring into the void, right? Instead of charging a right click, right? The orbs look pretty good though. Maybe would have been a little bit faster to orb your Pharah. Well, you know what? No, I think your Pharah just breaks LOS. I don't think you realized it. Yeah. So your Pharah goes in and you didn't realize it. It's a little bit of what we call that tunnel vision. But you're tunneling because you're very focused on making sure that you're helping this. So again, the tunnel is not in of itself a bad thing. Right click, right? Missed opportunity. And obviously here you're a little close. Good. Get him. Oh, no. Disaster. Good try, though. Okay. Nice. Right click. Right click. Right click. You see it?
Yeah, I do.
Now, I'm not going to repeat myself too much more from this because we definitely clarify that it is definitely a problem. So I'll write it down once we get to our goals at the end. But just remind that it is a big problem that we need to practice at some point. Okay, let's keep going. Now, I will say your corner usage has been actually pretty good. Were you thinking about cover this game a lot?
Not as much, no.
Okay,
I was trying to keep it in mind. But
Okay, because your autopilot with cover usage has been pretty decent. You've been working on that one, you said, yes?
I have.
It's
like,
showing.
last-
It's showing. It's definitely showing. That's encouraging, right? So that means your autopilot with cover, I mean, cover can always be better. It has been far from perfect, but for, I would say, a low plat, high gold player, cover usage has been a little bit above average. So even though you're not thinking about it, you're still doing it pretty well. That's encouraging. I wouldn't walk into the Winston here. Remember the range of your hero. Like, if this guy's like 1 HP, sure, but you know he's gonna bubble. You know he's full HP. And even if we talked about the ult tracking, which is a little bit complex, but he's got primal. Like, don't walk. I want you to shoot this guy aggressively, but there's no benefit to you being here and to you just shooting here, right?
Oh, okay.
No
I guess
real-
my thought was kick him out of the bubble so my team could do something, but that's probably super risky.
Yeah, a kick is more for use for your personal benefit. If something gets on you, you kick him away, right? If he makes the mistake of jumping your tank or your Moira instead of jumping you, then you don't even need to use your kick. Just use your damage. Because the other thing with kick as well is it means that you don't fire for a second, so it slows down your DPS as well. And you notice that when you kick him, look at his bubble. It's already broken anyway, right? Just break the bubble and kick if he jumps you. Make sense?
Okay.
Good general rules. Like I wouldn't mindlessly push something unless there's a really good reason to. I want you to take aggressive angles, aggressive sightlines, but you're a sniper support most of the time. Make sense? And during that, do you see how like we've kind of like totally lost track of what's going on? We have no idea what our orbs are on. Our Morb's sitting on a Moira, right? You're standing in the middle of nowhere. Your cover usage has kind of gone to pot, and you're gonna die now. Whereas if you'd been a little bit more disciplined with, you know, keeping your distance, I think that's something that could have helped a little bit. So don't play safer, play further. Play aggressive angles, but with a little bit of distance. Make sense?
Okay.
And I definitely think that's something that that's worth putting on our list of things to work on. Good orbs. Nice. Unfortunate. It's okay. Retake position. No. Here. Right?
I think I fell off at it.
But even I still don't like this here. This is still too close. I can't see very good, right? Here. If you wanted to take an aggressive angle, here. Distance, right? Distance and spam. Distance and spam. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
You see how like you accidentally fell off? You're playing quote unquote more aggressive, but you can't see anything. So it's the worst of both worlds. It's a bad angle and you're too close. You've done literally 0 damage since you've tranced. Your sightline has been terrible. Good use of kick. Good try. But man, I mean, like, just a few more meters. This fight goes entirely differently. Okay, let's keep going. Okay. Good. Good try in the orb. It was just a little bit late. Oh my gosh. What? My heart. Bonk. Okay. Phew. Alright, nice job. By the way, notice your autopilot positioning right here. Notice how you're on the corner. Not bad. You know? Ends up saving your life, you see it? That's really good. Discord is good. You're doing it again. Notice that you're pressing W. When they're behind the corner here, it's fine, you know, just go back and shoot these guys, right? If they turn the corner, you go back and shoot them. Even versus an Ashe and Cassidy, do you really want to get closer to those two heroes most of the time?
No.
Right? Sticky, Dynamite, Coach Gun, like it's just there's not really a lot of reason to get close to people too often as Zenyatta.
I think I need to get to where I'm looking around for my team to recheck their position while I reload or something.
Sure. Checking awareness of what's going on around you. Sure, absolutely. Nice. These orbs are looking really tight. Uh-oh. It's big. She's staggering herself. Oh dear. Okay, let's go. Alright. I'm just a right click. Oh, so it's gonna be a one shot. I can smell it. Ah, surely this one. Good orb. Good peek on the diva. Good orb. See, this is good. This is a little bit of that awareness that you were talking about. Now, there isn't a lot going on right now, so it's not very hard for you to pay attention to this stuff. But yeah, this is good. And then going back to your Sombra, or your Reaper, I guess dies, so that's unfortunate. Good. Moira's gets orbed. Then here. Nice. This is really good. Really nice stuff with your orbs. Do you notice how focusing a little bit on your orbs forces you to pay attention to what's going on around you?
Yeah.
It's a good skill to build. So what I will say that as much as your orbs have looked better, I think we're probably going to revisit the orbs as a practice skill, just because I think it's something that you could still be getting better at, and because it's such a good habit. Obviously, no right click, no left click, no nothing. Trance here is fine. I haven't talked as much about trance, but if you see the need to use it, use it. No hesitation, right? Easy. Nicely done. Okay. Do you have another code for me? Because we got another 20 minutes or so. Or we could do some live coaching. It's up to you.
I was actually going to ask you about the live coach.
We could do some live coaching. In fact, I will write the stuff at the end. Let's just get right into it right now. Work for you?
That works.
All right. Let me message my next session as well. Give me questions before we get into the live stuff.
No, I think everything's made perfect sense so far.
Okay. We'll have time for at least, you know, a couple rounds. We got 15 minutes or so. So however much gameplay we get, we'll get it.
Okay, cool.
You're not streaming, by the way.
Oh,
Perfect. Yeah.
so I got a comp again.
Yeah, let's do it. No fear.
I turn my sensitivity down.
Oh, you're brave. That's that's gutsy. Okay, what did you turn it down to?
1200,
Okay.
and I think
So
6%.
7200. Okay, yeah. That's quite a jump. What do you think you want to work on this game? Do you want to keep working on the orbs? Do you want to work on the right click versus left click thing? Do you want to work on playing your distance with your angles more? What do you think?
Yeah, I think sitting back a little bit further.
Okay, let's we'll work at that. I'm gonna be in your ear because the way that you practice that is to start in the best position for your hero. So when you're in the middle of a fight, I'm not gonna be saying too much. I'm gonna let you just play your game. But as soon as that fight's over, I'm gonna be shrieking. You know, where do you go? Where do you go? Where's the fight gonna happen? Where's your best angle? Find a sight line. You know, create some distance, right? So that's gonna be kind of the urgency and focus that we need from you between fights. And then once the fight starts, just chill, play the game. I'm not gonna be micromanaging you much.
Okay.
Are you warm, or do you want to do a little bit of click some bots and practice range, or do a little bit of in queue deathmatch? You could stay in queue, honestly, for what we're practicing, but you could do like while you wait right there. Yeah.
I don't usually do the training. Where is it?
Do at the bottom while you wait. So press bat escape once, and then at the bottom there, yeah, and then pick one of these. Deathmatch is fine. Wait a second.
Not who I meant to be.
You're good, you're good. Just speed off the map or just die. Stand very still. Nice. Yeah, this works as well. This is actually a fairly decent deathmatch map, as bad of a real map as it is. Then H and then just pick Zen. Oh no, not fast enough. You're gonna spend more time. You're gonna get so good at wall riding off the map, man. So good. Alright, here we go. H, quick. You got like 3 seconds. Then Zen. Yes! Nice, perfect. Then you can press space. Okay, let's go.
Oh, this is different.
Yeah. You're gonna get the world's largest shoulders. Your muscle's gonna be huge. Nice. Okay, maybe you're just the crack. Maybe this is it. You're gonna have instantly Grandmaster from here on out. You don't lose a game. Nice. Okay. So distance before the fight starts. Oh boy, Koth. All right, it's gonna be tough. King of the Hill with Zenyatta is always a little bit extra tough, but very rewarding if you can make it work. I like this. I like this skin. What do you think? Pretty good. Obviously, you like it. Otherwise, you wouldn't be wearing it.
I had the Nakji one. Yeah, for the longest time.
Wait, which one is that? Oh no!
Yeah.
Disaster. I'll find it.
Octopus one?
Oh yeah, the Jonak one. Yeah. That's the that's the you know that's the skin for the Jonak player, right?
Oh, okay. Oh.
Yeah, his name means like octopus or little octopus or something in Korean, and so he won MVP, I think, or yeah, or something, and he got the skin.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
No,
they
no,
make a special skin for every MVP. So yeah, that's where the octopus one came from. It's a Jonak skin. All right.
Sinatra was the last one.
Yeah,
Sorry.
the second one. Yeah, he who must not be named. All right, let's go. That's fine. Just go to the mega and the guy instantly dies. All about distance. Pick your positioning. Create distance. Press tab for me, will you, as you're walking forward? Yeah, so this is perfect, right? Lucio, Kiriko, Torbjorn, Cassidy, Winston. I don't want to get close to those guys, right? So keep your distance. Open up a sight line. GG's, you win. Good.
I'm really feeling the heat.
I am strong and brave. I am
Now
You're
teams,
definitely gonna have to,
go ahead.
definitely gonna have to use today.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Don't worry about it. So think about where can I take a sightline that creates distance here. I think where you're at right now is fine, but if they push out towards you, you're going to have to back away. But pay very close attention to where they are pushing and where they are at and rotate accordingly. This is fine for now, but it might not be fine 5 seconds from now. You're good. You're good. Nice. Keep rotating. Keep running. Keep running. Keep running. Yeah, just a little bit slow in that rotation. Now, this is the crazy part. When you rotate, when they rotated left, you see how they went all the way like towards your spawn on that start of that fight? When you see that, you can rotate to their spawn, to the right instead of back to your left. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, is that what they meant when they were talking about flipping the map? the other day?
Yes, yes, it's exactly what flipping the map is. And even there, when that Zarya starts to push you, go to their spawn. Get out of there. Create your distance. Now, you're good here. You could just sit here and shoot. If they push you, you got to know where am I going to be kiting to. Yep, good. Still got your sightline though, so you're good to go. Nice. Oh boy, you're low. Whee! Nice. I create distance as soon as this trance is over. Get out of here. Nice. Probably back out here if you can. Just run. Good. So I would have ended my trance on the right instead of the left. You saw your sightline was really bad from that position?
Yeah.
Okay. Ryan's pushing out. We can walk out too. Go right, not left. Longer sightline. Very nice. Nicely done. Uh-oh, don't jolt C9. Okay, again, pay very close attention. Start in the same position, but pay very close attention. If they push right, back up. If they push all the way left, go right. Might need to back up here. Yeah, back up, back up, back up. Good. That's oh, unfortunate. Okay. Keep
That
backing
felt
up.
sketch.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go right, go right, go right. Create some distance. Yep. Nice. Good. That was good with the Torb there. You're a little slow backing up, but that was you had the right idea.
Like right now, I sometimes
they're
I feel
pushing.
like
Back, back. Careful.
I should be doing more, but then I know I would be at a bad angle with my team.
Right, right. You're nice trance, nice trance, nice trance. Very winnable fight. Now get out of here, get out of here, get out of here, get out of here. Winnable. It's okay. Mechanics look pretty good, by the way. Not too shabby, considering you just swap sensitivity. Now, you can see there how you ended your trance inside. Too short of a sight line. You couldn't see very much. You see that? Would have been better to end it off of point to where you could spam all on point. Again, it's not about being aggressive versus defensive. It's about being aggressive with your sight line, but defensive with your distance most of the time. Make sense?
So worry about more about where I end my trance as opposed to how much healing I get out of it.
Well, okay, there's a balance there, right? If you need to give your team as much trance as you possibly can, but as soon as they're full HP, you don't want to end up in the middle of a fight, right? Because then you're dead, or you're doing nothing, right? You need to end in a safe position to where you get the value of the trance, and then you have a good sightline to do damage afterwards. I think you did pretty well there. I
Okay.
think you did pretty well. Now, you know where everyone's going to go, and you know where the fight's going to happen. Find a corner, spam from that corner, create some distance. This is one of the tougher King of the Hill spots for Zen. So good luck. Yeah, Moira, Sam, all sorts of stuff that's going to get nasty up and close. Okay. Tough fight. Keep your distance.
Objective captured.
Echo here.
Good, this is perfect. Exactly what we want. So much pressure you're putting out right now.
My ultimate ability is charging.
Good. Good. Get that sightline. Go swing wide left. Create some distance. Yes. Just hold this corner here and just hold down mouse 1. Easy peasy.
Objective. Assist me.
Okay, might need to get out now because you guys have lost, so reset. Yep, very good. That was a very, very nice series of positions you took there. Very good. Yeah. So she's just spamming the same sightline over and over and over again. Woo! Okay. Sniper. Alright, rotate, but rotate with distance. Use a trance here if you see the opportunity. Don't even need it. Nicely done. Okay, so create distance. You don't want to be on point. This is too close. Sure, this works. Nice. Sure. Now enter trance in a safe position. Or just ego this guy. Nice. See, even here you had some distance, you see? It was a little bit, it felt like an aggressive angle, but you were far away, so it was safe. You can have both and do well. Okay, think where you want to be.
Join me.
Distance, cover, sightline.
Thanks for that.
Sometimes I think I'm afraid of spending too much time to walk around and get the good angle as opposed to
You feel like you need to do something now, right?
yeah.
Yeah. This is great. Love this. Great position. They just hit a couple of shots. This fight's probably lost. Maybe you can cheese something out. Honestly, you could just die in point if you want to. Get a big right click here. Here we go. Big right, big kill. Oh, close. Okay, we got one more fight here. No. Well, your team doesn't push. Okay. Okay. Good orb. This positioning here is really good. You see how hard it was for them to reach you? That was really good. That was really, really good. Okay, so obviously, you know, results happen. You know exactly how this is going to go, and you still need to. But I also want to point out something else. Now, we were thinking about creating distance and a lot about your positioning, right? But I was paying very careful attention actually to your orb usage, and you probably were thinking a little bit about orbs, I assume, just a little bit, right? But honestly, even when you were thinking about your positioning, your orb usage was pretty good. It wasn't too bad. So that's another encouraging thing. Cover and orb usage right now, even when you're thinking about other things, are not bad. Not perfect, but not bad. So you've got at least 2 skills that are right now not too shabby, and your trance usage as well, not too bad either. So you have a couple skills that are pretty decent when you're not thinking about them right now. Now, here are the skills that we need to continue to practice, okay? Keep toying with your sensitivity. Where you are at now is a good start. Could still go lower, all right? Orb usage, keep practicing. Looks okay, but can practice more for speed. So in other words, just to be a little bit faster at it. Mechanics, right click versus left click spam. When should I be doing either? Now that one was still not great in the VOD that we just watched. It wasn't terrible, but the game that you just played, it still needs to be continually practiced. Make sense?
Okay.
Right? Do you understand when you should be doing right click and when you should be doing left click?
Yeah. If I can't see the team right click,
Yes. Yes.
otherwise left.
Yes, exactly that. Exactly that. Okay. And then maintaining distance. Peak nice sightlines / angles, but be careful with proximity. Generally, not many reasons to get close. Do you have any questions?
I do not.
Okay. Keep in touch. Good luck with your practice. Lots of things look really, really good. Be patient and consistent with your playtime. Don't do anything crazy. Just be patient and consistent with it, and I think you'll continue to see results. Don't worry about your tunnel vision. Don't worry about that. Just make it productive. Use that tool that you have productively, and I think you'll continue to improve. All right, mate. Keep in touch. Don't forget you